Hello, welcome. This is show 130, student loans. I would like to start off with this condolence. For the families of the children and teachers whose life was taken away far too soon. We don't know if the children would have made a major impact if they lived out their lives. My heart feels your pain. I am saddened that they had to lose their life at such a young age. Blessings to all. May God be with you and all others. Blessings, my condolences, and many blessings for all. I'd like to talk with you about eliminating student loans. The money should not come from taxes and the banks. Don't be too eager to tax the rich to take away student loans. One man sold his home that was worth $400,000, and he had to pay $100,000 in taxes. I recommend to find ways for the rich to donate their money to grants and scholarships, and have the students receive help with reducing the amount of the loan or the payment for a good education. Now, I recommend to find ways for the rich to donate their money to grants and scholarships. Allow the students to receive help with reducing the amount of the loan. Let's pull together and bring the grants and scholarships pulled into one place. This can be a national college fund. The students pay 1/2 of his or her loan, and the education fund can use a sliding scale to determine how much the students can be helped to pay for their high school and college education. The money isn't coming from the banks or the government other than scholarships and grants. The money can be donated by all the people. Also, we could put a cap on the professor's income. Right now I'd like to talk to you an incident, give you some examples of how this young lady, she went to college, received a bachelor's degree, and it only cost her $4,000 for 4 years of college. That was a friend of mine. It was her daughter. She went and applied for grants and scholarships. And in those 4 years, she paid $4,000. She worked very hard to get grants and even harder to get scholarships. So if we pull together our money and resources and keep the cost of education down as much as possible, then our students, our college students, don't have to pay as much on their loans, bank loans, to be able to have a Bachelor Science degree or even a Master of Science degree. I like to say this last say that they once had. It's an old one, and I don't remember it clearly. Remember the poem about the fish and the man and the fisherman? If a man provides fish for that meal, he only is fed that one meal. that one day. However, if the fisherman teaches the person how to fish, you feed him for his life, for the rest of his life. Now, I want to talk about my nephew. His name is Kenny Guinero. He has a master's degree, and he is in debt with loans to be paid back to the banks. And this is my thought of one way of helping him pay for his own college degree. Well, I told him I was a paramedic on an ambulance, and I worked in an area that was slow, and I worked the 11 to 7 shift, and I was able to either sleep or I was able to study. And then in the morning I could go to school and continue my education. While I was going to school, I did have a full-time job, and I lived at home, and I got my Bachelor Science degree, and when I worked on the ambulance I got my master's degree. I was fortunate. I was in a field where I could rest and sleep and study anytime I want, and basically to get paid for it. So I successfully did receive my Master's Science degree. And I didn't have all that much for, I was in debt for bank loans. I didn't have much debt when I finished my schooling. And Kenny became a firefighter, an EMT firefighter. So we worked there, and he was able to go to school at the same time. He got his Bachelor Science degree as a dietitian, and a master's degree for nutrition. He did this, and he was living an independent life. Soon after he got his fire department's degree to be a fireman and an EMT, he continued his studies. He graduated with a dietitian degree and got a job at the local hospital. That's an option as well. He used these forms of work to help him pay for his education. And I recommend that for all. My nephew Kenny was renting a room, and there were other college students living there as well. One day, my husband and I went out upstate New York and visited with my nephew Kenny. He lived in one room in the mansion with other students, and he paid about $500 a month just for a room. And they all had to share the kitchen. And people, when he was giving us a tour, there was some kind of a doll in red in the area. And he, as he walked past it, he flicked his hand at this ornament, some kind of doll. And I told Kenny, do not acknowledge that entity. It can attack you. So, after I saw that, he said he was paying his $500 rent so the rest of his money could pay for his college loans. After I visit with him, I asked Kenny to leave that place immediately. Find an apartment so that you could have it to yourself. And so he did. He was able to afford an apartment. And I said to him, Kenny, live your life. Pay the monthly payment for your loans, and enjoy life a little bit. And I told him, someone, somewhere, will come up with an explanation and a way to resolve this issue of student loan debts by so many people living in America. So he did that, and he's very happy. He became a firefighter, EMT, proud. He's a dietitian. He's a nutritionist. So he's doing well. He's doing well, and he's happy. And so I told him to start living a good life. This plan is to help the students pay off their debt without taking on a bank loan or the people's tax money. So that's how Kenny got through paying for his student loans. And I have one more description of this I'd like to share with you. And this is a sad story, because I have a master's degree. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree. And I paid my master's degree because I worked as I went to school. My friend, an adult woman, whose sister, who is also an adult elderly, has an adult son. And they spent arguing, the son and my friend's sister, the mother, fought a lot of very intense, I would say, battles amongst them. He has a good job at Sikorsky Aircraft. He makes over $100,000 a year. But he hates his job. He doesn't like his job at all. He's willing to give up over $100,000 job at Sikorsky to go to school to become a teacher. His mother wanted him to stay at work to raise enough money so that he could pay for his education and not have any student loans when he gets out of college. But he hates his job. He wants to go to school to become a teacher. There's nothing wrong with that. Being a teacher is reputable. It takes a special person to be able to be a teacher. My older brother David was a teacher for 30 years. He loved every moment of it. Today, he rests in peace. Well, the mother and her son had fights, and other family members had fights. Finally, when the son quit his job to go to school full-time to be a teacher, this is tragic. Don't ever do this to anyone who wants to go to college and have a successful career. Because he didn't listen to her, going to work, save money, then go to school, she threw him out of the home. He has no place to live now. She threw him out of the house. As you can see, she probably, and the family, no one's ever gone to college. He would be the first. People, everyone and anyone who wants to go to college should be able to go to college and not be in debt for the rest of their life. I want to say one more thing about scholarships and grants can come together, and people can donate to the college fund. And then the college fund, with a scale, can determine how much money we all can receive to go to our college that we choose. When you have college degrees, it opens up many doors. You may start off as a teacher, but who knows where else he'll go. He will succeed as a teacher wherever he may go. Because a college degree is very professional, and people look upon you to be a professional. Not everyone can tolerate going to college. Give it a try. Don't give up. I didn't want to go to college, but I did, because I knew that was the right thing to do. I knew it would open many doors for me to make my life a better life to live. Well, anyway, as it stands, this young man has no job and has no home. We don't want to get money from the taxes, nor from schools or bank loans. Work hard, get a good school, get an education. You won't regret it. Thank you for your time, everyone. My sadness goes out to the students at elementary school in Texas. Our hearts are with you, and our prayers are with you. God bless us all.